Have you ever wanted to make a tossed green salad and then the next day you thought, uh-oh, I'm going to have to make a tossed green salad again? Today we're going to show you some awesome raw recipes that are all different types of salads, so stay by. Hello friends and welcome to Let's Cook Together. I'm your host Jill Morricone and we have an exciting program planned for you today. All raw, pasta, rice, all different types of salad recipes. So get your pens and papers ready to write down the recipes as we share them with you. But first I'd like to introduce to you my special guest here in the kitchen all the way from Oklahoma, Ardmore, Oklahoma. Her name is Mary Burnt. Welcome, Mary.
Thank you, Jill.
So glad to have you here. Why don't you tell our friends at home a little bit about your restaurant and all the other things you're involved in?
Well, we have a vegetarian restaurant in Ardmore with a health food store.
And it's called?
Veggies.
I like that name.
Isn't that cool? I like that name too.
In fact, friends, Veggies was named 1998 one of the best restaurants from Magellan's, right?
Magellan Press.
Magellan Press. That's awesome. So they came and visited your restaurant in Oklahoma?
No, that was in Rapid City, South Dakota.
Okay.
But it's pretty much the same idea.
And the same name.
Same name,
Yes.
a lot of the same recipes.
Yeah, so that's awesome. So these people came in, so your food is really good. I agree, your food's really good. That's awesome.
Well, thank you.
And what else do you do?
Well, we do a lot of ministry there. We help a lot of people with their health. And one of the things that we found is that as we practice what we know to be true as far as eating vegetarian and leaning toward a more healthy lifestyle, drinking a lot of water, all of those kind of things, that we can really see some phenomenal things with people.
Do you have a story you could share with us
I'd love
before
to.
we get going?
We recently worked with a gentleman named Charlie. His wife had come to one of my health and nutrition schools, and Charlie had a quintuple bypass about 3 years ago. And yes, quintuple, yes, 5. Wow. Now, that was just 3 years ago. So Charlie started having chest pain again. Went to his doctor. His doctor said, Charlie, you are completely plugged up again. And you have 2 options here. You need to do another bypass, or you go home and basically prepare to die.
Oh,
well,
that's sad.
Isn't that
awful? Can you imagine
receiving
that kind of news?
Oh, I can't either.
Yeah.
Charlie said the first bypass was so difficult that he chose to go home and die.
And that must have been tremendous, because who would want to choose to go home and die? So that tells you it's bad.
Well, that tells you a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And we're not talking an extremely old man.
Right.
He's in his 50s. Well, his wife came to me and said, is there something that we could do? Is there any way you can help us? And I said, yeah, I think maybe. And so they came and visited with me at the restaurant. And I really tried to encourage him to go to one of the lifestyle centers that I'm familiar with, but he didn't want to do that option either. So I said, well, Charlie, this is extreme. So we're going to do something extreme. What I'd really like you to do then, if you won't do that and you won't do the bypass, let's go on an all raw diet.
All raw. I
Totally.
mean, no cooked food.
No cooked food. And he readily agreed to it, actually. He sat there and he thought about it and he said, will it help? And I said, well, I've seen it help before. And he said, well, I'm willing to give it a try.
Amen.
2 months into it, his ashen gray face developed a rosy pink glow again.
Are you serious?
Yes. And a man who daily had chest pain stopped having the chest pain. In fact, they just went to Colorado, and even up in the high altitude, there was no more chest pain for him. Wow. And his last doctor report, which was just last month, cholesterol is 112.
Oh,
triglycerides were just totally low. And the doctor said, I don't know what you're doing, but you better just keep it up. He said, because you're just like a new man. And so it's given him a new lease on life.
Absolutely. And when you're in your 50s, I mean, that is young to be told to go home and die or something.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, praise God. That's exciting.
Amen.
So you're in the business of helping people.
We're in the business of helping people with their health.
Yes. Okay, well, what are we making first?
Well, first we're going to make what I call a substitute vinegar. I don't like to use vinegar. I love to use lemon juice, however, because those lemons, Jill, are power-packed with phytochemicals. There are more than 50 phytochemicals in every lemon that help us to fight disease.
That's good.
Exactly, and we think of it as being acidic, but when it's actually digested,
It's
it yields an alkaline ash.
Amazing.
That's amazing. So we're going to make this vinegar substitute, and then we're going to use it in the 3 salad recipes that we're going to make.
Good, that sounds good. Let's read that recipe. For the honey lemon marinade, you need 2 cups fresh lemon juice squeezed, 1 cup honey, 2 teaspoons salt, 2 tablespoons garlic powder, 1 tablespoon onion powder. All right, that's nice and easy.
Yes, it's very
like
easy.
That. Now, tell me why, for our friends at home, why wouldn't you want to use vinegar? What's wrong with vinegar?
Well, vinegar is fermented, and so because of that, it will actually, especially large amounts of it that they would put in a salad dressing.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to ferment everything in your stomach. Another interesting.
That doesn't sound too nice.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't sound too pleasant.
We don't want things fermenting in there.
Right.
We want to be able to digest in a manner that nutrients and everything will be absorbed real readily.
Oh, yeah.
And if the folks out there get my cookbook, I have a very cute little story about vinegar in there. And actually, they don't need to get my cookbook. They can even just look it up in their encyclopedia for vinegar eel.
Oh.
Yes, a vinegar eel is something that frequently subsists on vinegar and is actually sometimes ends up being part of the process of making it, and it is a little parasite.
It's an actual...
Yes, it's alive,
thing.
and it's a little bug, and it comes from a
Maybe
fly.
we should go to
So should we
making
make
this. I think that sounds
yes,
good.
with our lemon juice.
Yeah, that sounds much better.
Yes, absolutely. So this is very easy. I love easy.
Me too, absolutely.
So
I
we're
like
just
that
going
about your
to,
recipes.
and now this is a double recipe because we are going to be making several salads with it. So we made a large recipe. So we have our lemon juice, we have our salt, our garlic powder, our onion powder, and our honey. Now, it might seem like a lot of honey, but these recipes, remember, have a lot of fiber in them.
Yes.
And one of the keys we found, even with working with diabetics, that they can have some of these kind of things if it has a lot of fiber with it, because fiber slows the absorption of sugar in the body.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that wonderful?
So if you have a lot of fiber, then you can get away with, quotes, a little more sugar.
A little more, yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Not like having a pop that is just, you know, half a cup of sugar with no fiber.
Right, okay.
So we'll put this in there, and then we'll just blend it up, and then we will be ready.
Good. Well, that's easy. I like that.
Yeah, it's very easy.
yeah.
And, you know, you can blend a big batch of this at home.
Stick it in the fridge?
Stick it in the fridge, and it will last for 10 days to 2 weeks. All right, so I'm going to blend.
Good. And we're done.
We're done, and we're ready to make some salads.
Oh, I can't wait. I love salad. What's
do
our
too.
first salad that we're going to be
Our
making here?
first salad is actually one of my favorites. It's called a toasted sesame pasta.
Good. That sounds good. You want to read that recipe for us?
I'd be happy to. Okay, we're going to get 2 cups of veggie spiral pasta, and that would be uncooked, 1 cup of broccoli, 1 cup of chopped red pepper, a half a cup of black olives sliced. Now, I will say that we use the Lindsay olives today. They're green, but they are like a black olive. 1/2 cup of red onion diced, and a 1/3 cup of toasted sesame oil. And 3/4 cup of our honey lemon marinade, and with an additional sweetener or to taste, 1 tablespoon of that or just to taste.
All right. I like this pasta salad.
Isn't it pretty?
Oh, yeah, with all the different colors in
Yes,
it. Yeah.
yes. I'm excited about this. You're going to
Yes.
like this salad. This is
Okay.
really my favorite salad.
Is it really?
I love this salad.
You serve
I
it a
could
lot
live
at
on
your
this.
restaurant?
You know, we don't serve this as much at my restaurant because we just tend to put out a big salad bar that has lots of raw that you can put on a salad. But we do once in a while, and at home, this is what I love.
Right, right.
So what we're going to do, Jill, we're just going to add all of our ingredients in with the pasta. And to be honest with you, I'm not married to, you know, exact amounts. It's
recipes.
exactly. If you like broccoli, put more broccoli in.
I like that.
Yeah. If you like red pepper, put more red pepper in. If you hate onion,
Leave it out.
leave it out. Exactly. So we'll just toss this in. And
Good.
I think you'll find that this is a good salad.
Oh,
So that's our broccoli.
And it doesn't have to be super, super small pieces.
It doesn't have to be super small pieces. We're going to use a little bit of this red pepper, I believe, for another salad. So we'll save some of that out. And then we've got onion. Now, I do love onion.
Yes.
So how do you feel about onion?
I like cooked onion, raw onions.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll marinate it a little bit in our vinegar substitute. So we won't add all of that because Jill doesn't.
Well, thank you. That's
You're
not...
very welcome. How do you feel about olives?
I love olives.
Okay, well then we'll put the olives in.
Yes.
All
Now,
right.
is there a difference between the green and the black? Do you prefer to use the green olives,
I
Mary?
love the green olives. They're the Lindsay green olives, and to be honest with you, the reason a black olive is they actually can grow a black olive, but what they do to make them look more uniform is they add a chemical to the olives, and so then you get this uniform black olive.
Yes.
And the
With the
Lindsay
added
olives,
chemical.
exactly, and then you're getting a chemical. The Lindsay olives don't have the chemicals in them, and they just have a wonderful flavor.
So green is the natural color on the olive tree, basically.
Well, and I do believe there are some olives that are actually a darker olive, like a Kalamata olive.
Oh, yeah.
But whether I just know that they use that chemical to make it uniform.
Right.
So isn't this just beautiful?
Oh, it is. I love the colors.
Oh, have you ever seen anything so gorgeous?
Yes.
And we're just going to add our honey lemon marinade.
Oh, yeah. And we just made that.
We just made that.
Very nice.
And if our friends at home like it a little spicier, they can just toss in a little crushed red pepper. That's kind of fun.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
And where we're really going to get our flavor for this
Yes.
salad is our toasted sesame oil.
Yes.
Yes, the toasted sesame oil has just a wonderful flavor. And we're going to add about a 1/3 cup, but
Okay,
there
so
again,
quite a bit.
for those who like that flavor, if they want more, they can add more. If they don't, they can add less. And
I like that.
yeah. But it gives it kind of a nutty, and I'll
A
tell
little
you,
bit oriental, don't you think,
a
too?
little bit,
Little
oh
bit.
yeah, definitely a
'Cause
little
the
bit
sesame
oriental.
gives you that type of-
Absolutely. Now, it's interesting, I just read a report on cruciferous vegetables. Broccoli, for instance, is a cruciferous vegetable. And I just find this fascinating. There's a reason that we do things the way we do. The actual components in broccoli that are so helpful for our health, the phytochemicals
Right.
and the things that help to eliminate toxins, are activated when you have a fat mixed in
Now,
with
I
that
didn't
broccoli. Isn't
know
that interesting?
That's very
Yeah.
interesting.
It's the same with your green leafy lettuces and things of that nature.
So in other words, if you just ate a salad with just plain broccoli or something like that, you wouldn't be getting all the phytochemicals and the nutrients.
You
Is that
would be
right?
getting them all, but they wouldn't be used as adequately
In your body as well.
body without the fat.
Isn't that neat?
Isn't that interesting? I just think that's fascinating.
Yeah. It's amazing how God makes our bodies.
Exactly.
Yes.
Fearfully and wonderfully.
Yes.
And so, it's amazing how cultures seem to know that they need to add, we've always eaten salads with oil and vinegar, right?
Absolutely.
And so that seems to have come
And that's what
for a
helps it
reason.
assimilate.
Exactly.
Right.
And I do like to add a little bit of sweetener to the
Okay.
salad, just maybe a tablespoon. It is to taste, but it brings up the flavors. And like I said, we have so
Yes.
much fiber in this salad.
Yes.
And how I would then eat this salad at home,
Yeah.
personally, is I would put it over a bed of lettuce.
Oh, that's nice.
And I would add
it's
no
pretty.
more dressing. Just the dressing on
Okay.
this pasta salad would be the
Oh, yeah, you
flavor.
can see the dressing on it.
Yes,
So,
yes.
oh, yeah, it smells
Isn't that
really
beautiful?
good, too. Yeah. Well, do you
my
have,
favorite.
before we go to our next recipe, do you have a story, another story you can share with our friends at home?
Well, yes, I'd love to. We had a cooking seminar going on in Oregon and met a woman at that seminar who had breast cancer. And she had decided, she was an RN, had decided that rather than following the normal procedure of chemotherapy and surgery, et cetera,
Right.
she decided she would try an alternative, and she chose an all-raw diet.
Okay, so same as this gentleman.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. She asked me if she could come to my class, and I said, well, we don't do all raw, but I think you would love my class. And she said, well, as soon as I get through this, I plan on going back to eating cooked food, but I do want to stay total vegetarian,
Right,
so I
okay.
would like to, learn to do some cooking.
How long did she go on the all raw plan?
She went on the all raw plan for 6 months, and she was from the Quaker Church. Her
Okay.
entire family went raw with her. Her mother, her father,
bless their
her
hearts.
husband, her kids, as well as her sister and her sister's husband. Well, right during the time that she was in my class, she came in the last night of class with a doctor's report, and she was just crying, and she said, I just have to share this with your class. I said, feel free. She showed us this report, and at the top of it, her doctor had written, congratulations, you're cancer-free. And it was so wonderful. Now, Jill, I have to tell you that not only did she lose her cancer, but she had a whole list of other things. Her father reversed his diabetes on the all-raw diet. Her mother reversed her hypertension. Her sister lost 40 pounds.
Oh, man.
Yes. Yeah. And everybody was just feeling healthier than they'd ever been in their entire life. And she told me, she said, and this isn't even the good news. I said, well, what's the good news?
You're thinking, what? Be cancer-free and all these things?
Yeah,
That's
how much
tremendous.
better could it get? Her two daughters, who were both struggling in school, in fact, one had flunked every class, including gym. Following being on the raw diet, the next year at school, this high school girl that had flunked all these classes the year before had a 4.0.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
So it improved her mind, her memory,
exactly.
and all that type of
And
stuff.
her sister, same thing with her sister. Her sister's report card was straight A's with the exception of 2 B's. And I said to her, I said, well, what do you think about that? And she said, my girls said, Mom, that diet helped our brain to clear up and made us feel better, and we could think. And so you see, there's this raw food is just, it can do so much for us.
And even if you're not going total raw, if you eat cooked but you eat more raw. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
If you're not eating anything raw, just eating an apple in the morning is a start.
Exactly.
Going more raw.
Adding more raw as much as possible is a huge benefit.
Oh, that's tremendous. You know, the thing that touches me about that story is that the whole family supported her.
Exactly.
I really like that.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, that is. Okay, we better get going. What are we making next?
We are going to make a walnut wild rice salad.
That sounds good. Let's read that recipe for our walnut wild rice salad. For that, you need 3 cups wild rice that's cooked, 1/2 cup celery finely diced, 1/2 cup red pepper finely diced, 1/2 cup green or red onion finely diced, 3/4 cup roasted walnuts, and 3/4 cup honey lemon marinade. Well, that's nice. I like we're using the honey lemon marinade again.
Yes. This honey lemon marinade is just a wonderful kind of vinegar substitute, and we use it in a lot of our salads in our cookbook.
Absolutely. What's your cookbook called? I'm sorry.
My cookbook is called The Best of Veggies.
The Best of Veggies. Oh,
absolutely.
That's neat.
And we'll have The Best of Veggies 2 coming up soon.
That's awesome. So, when did you come out with the first cookbook, The Best of Veggies?
It's been a couple years.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's time for a new one.
Yeah. And if our friends at home, if you're interested in getting Mary's cookbook, you can contact us here at 3BN. We'll give you the address at the end of the program. And you can contact us. We'll get you in touch with Mary. Or you have an email. People can email you, right? What's your email?
My email is iloveveggies, and then the number 2 at hotmail.com.
Okay. That's easy.
Right. It's very easy. Yes. Veggies is my restaurant, and I do love them.
That's right. Okay.
So are you a fan of wild rice?
Oh, yes.
I love wild rice.
Yes.
I developed this recipe because wild rice is probably one of my favorite grains. And so I love wild rice, and I love raw vegetables.
Yes.
And so again, we're just taking vegetables and cutting them up, and it's very easy. If you like more red pepper, do more red pepper. Broccoli can be nice in this salad. And so what we're going to do is throw in our red pepper.
It's nice. Just dump everything together. I like that.
Exactly.
Now you have your students who come through Shine. They help you in the restaurant. Is
Absolutely.
That right? Oh, that's neat.
It's neat. They learn all of these recipes, and I make them sign away their life that they won't give out all of our secret recipes.
Oh, okay.
Now we're going to add more onion to this one, Jill.
Okay.
I know that that's not your favorite thing.
That's okay. You can eat this and I'll eat the other one.
Okay.
That's a deal.
It's a deal. All right. Now, but isn't that beautiful?
Oh, it is. Look at all those colors.
And, you would think, well, doesn't it taste a lot like the other salad? It actually isn't going to taste anything like the other salad because we're using the roasted walnuts, which add a flavor all of their own.
Yes.
And so we will put in our marinade.
Okay.
And then we'll put these walnuts in. And I will also like to tell our friends at home that if they're fans of pecans, or if they live in Oklahoma like I do, pecans grow there.
I like pecans.
that they can do the same thing with pecans. Just lightly roast those pecans in the oven.
Now, what temperature would you put them in the oven on? And
350 degrees, and both walnuts and pecans just take a matter of 7 minutes if your oven is preheated.
real fast. So
Real
these are very
fast.
lightly roasted.
They're
then.
very lightly roasted. You don't need to even spray your pan. You just put them on the pan and put them in the oven.
You put water on them or salt, or just put them in dry?
Just raw.
Easy.
Just raw. And
Okay.
I asked a dear friend of mine who's a physician
Yes.
if he thought that changed the benefit of the walnuts or other nuts that you would roast that way, because nuts are so good for you, and walnuts are especially wonderful. And he said, no, not at all. That light roasting won't hurt a thing.
Oh, okay.
So here you have a salad. Again,
Boy, that looks good.
doesn't that look beautiful?
Oh, yeah.
Again, my favorite way to eat this is over a bed of lettuce.
Yes.
And it's just wonderful like that.
Because, Mary, I think we eat with our eyes.
Yes, we do.
If something doesn't look good, you say, I don't think I really feel like trying that.
Not
you know?
today.
So that's good. Being in the restaurant business, you have to know how to make things appealing for people.
Exactly.
Otherwise, they'd come in and say, let me turn around and leave.
And I was quite shocked actually. This salad is a huge favorite in Oklahoma.
Good.
Yes, I wasn't sure they'd even know what wild rice was,
Right.
because this is kind of a Midwest thing, grows
Right.
in Minnesota.
Right.
So
That's good. What's our last pasta salad?
our last salad is going to be a Chinese coleslaw.
Nice.
Yes.
That sounds really good. You want to read that recipe for us for
I'd
the
be happy
Chinese coleslaw?
1 medium cabbage grated, a package of your favorite ramen noodles, 1 cup of roasted almonds chopped, 1 cup of the honey lemon marinade, and 1 tablespoon sweetener, or to taste. You don't necessarily need to add that sweetener.
Now, what makes a salad a Chinese coleslaw salad versus regular coleslaw?
Well, rather than putting in mayonnaise, we're going to add the honey lemon marinade. We're going to add a little ramen noodle, and that kind of gives it that little Chinese.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
exactly.
like that.
Exactly. Do you like cabbage?
Yes, very much so.
I love cabbage too. Cabbage is a very good vegetable.
Is it? It's good for you.
In fact, the more cabbage you eat, studies have proven the longer you'll live. Isn't
I
that?
didn't know that.
It's a
Where do
very
you get all
good
your
vegetable.
information? You must read a lot.
I do read a lot. I read an awful lot, and I study a lot.
That's
Cabbage, though, it's very, very interesting because it actually will even heal ulcers, and it will do some other wonderful things for the body. It reduces cancer risk and helps to lower cholesterol.
It's kind of an anti-inflammatory. It seems like I had heard that too.
Absolutely. And it's extremely high. It has almost 100%. A cup of cabbage has an extremely high amount, at least, of vitamin K. And it's one of the few places that we get that vitamin K, and that helps our blood to clot properly and to do other things. I just love this salad, though, because I'll tell you, my husband and I, one time we were going to Washington State to do a health and nutrition seminar.
You travel all over doing these.
Well, I did. Now that I have a restaurant, I'm a little more tied down to that, but I still do seminars occasionally. But he was really hungry, so he said, honey, let's have some lunch before we go, because we won't stop at fast food places.
Right.
I mean, it just, you take a little bit of a risk there, and we were going to be doing this seminar. So I said, okay, so we had 2 salads. I fixed our cabbage salad, and I fixed us a quick pasta salad, and I had that done in about 20 minutes.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's very good. And we ate these salads, and we left our house at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, arrived in Washington State about, I think it was 7 or 8 o'clock that night, and they had prepared this big meal for us. And my husband looked at me and he said, honey, I'm still full from lunch. And I said,
It's really filling.
It's all the fiber. You see, all that fiber, it keeps you feeling satiated. And so neither one of us were hungry. We told them just to hold that meal off until breakfast the next day. And I'm always surprised when I eat these salads how they will keep me feeling full like that. So
That's good.
yeah, it's very good. So they're quick to make, but they leave you feeling nice and full for quite a while.
That's good. Well, show us how to make this one.
It's very easy. We're just going to add our honey lemon marinade again. And the cabbage will actually start to kind of wilt down the longer the marinade is in there. So I do like to kind of stir it up. And we didn't put this in the recipe, but if you like to add a few carrots, you could add carrots. Purple cabbage is really fun.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes. Purple cabbage is great.
Yeah.
And I think I will go ahead and use all of the marinade.
Okay.
And then we're
Very
going
nice.
to add some ramen noodles.
Okay.
Now the ramen noodles will actually start to get a little bit soft, but not totally
Yes.
soft.
So you still have a little bit of a nice crunch in them.
You've got the crunch
Yeah.
of the ramen noodles and the crunch of the almonds.
Yeah.
And we'll just break those
Here,
up
you
in
want
here.
some help here?
How don't you help me out there, Jill? We'll put you to work.
That's good.
Now, you can get a spinach ramen noodle in the health food
Oh,
store, and I
okay.
really like that one quite a bit because it's green, adds a little more color to the salad.
Yes.
And once we have these in here, we'll stir that up again.
You want the rest of it or not? That's good.
I think we're doing good.
Okay.
I think we're good. We're kind of spilling over here a little bit, so. All right, we're going to stir that in there, and then this is what really gives this salad its flavor.
Yes.
Are the roasted almonds.
Almonds, okay.
Love the roasted almond flavor.
You do them at 350 just like the walnuts?
Exactly.
For 7 minutes?
Exactly. Now, almonds
easy.
will take a little bit longer
Okay.
to cook than the walnuts or the pecans
Yes.
will.
Okay.
And you know, when it comes to almonds,
Yes.
you don't want to burn them, but you do want them to be almost burned because that's when their flavor will
Okay.
really come up.
Yeah.
And you'll find that they just have that just incredible almond flavor. But if you don't roast them enough, then you'll never get that incredible flavor.
Yes.
So I tell people, roast them until they're just this side of burned. and
it might take a few times of burning it till you figure that out, right?
well, it's approximately 12 to 15 minutes at 350 degrees. And you don't need to rinse them.
Okay.
You just put them in there. And it's also nice to let them dry for just a little bit because that flavor will come up in them.
Yes. Would you put it in the fridge, and how long would you keep it in the fridge for?
You could put it in the refrigerator, and then it would last for about 2 or 3 days.
That's good. Okay. And then eat it up quick. Yeah. Well, in just a moment, friends, we will be back to show you the final products, all the things that we made here today.
We hope you've enjoyed today's program with Mary Burnt. Now let's take a moment to review our super salad recipes. Our honey lemon marinade, 2 cups of fresh lemon juice, 1 cup honey, 2 teaspoons salt, 2 teaspoons garlic powder, and 1 tablespoon of onion powder. For our toasted sesame pasta, 2 cups of veggie spiral pasta uncooked, 1 cup broccoli chop, 1 cup red pepper chop, 1/2 cup black olives sliced, 1/2 cup red onion diced, 1/4 cup toasted sesame oil, 3/4 cup honey lemon marinade, and 1 tablespoon of sweetener. For our pecan wild rice, you have 3 cups of wild rice cooked, 1/2 cup celery finely diced, 1/2 cup red pepper finely diced, 1/2 cup red or green onion finely diced, 3/4 cup of roasted pecans, 3/4 cup of honey lemon marinade. For the Chinese coleslaw, you'll need 1 cabbage grated, 1 package romaine noodles, 1 cup roasted almonds chopped, 1 cup honey lemon marinade, and 1 tablespoon of sweetener. If you'd like to contact Mary Burnt, please call 3ABN at 800-752-3226 for information, or write us at 3ABN Post Office Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois 62896. Now let's take a look at our finished recipes with Mary.
Well, look at all this good food we made
Isn't
today.
it beautiful?
Oh, yeah. Let's look at what we made.
Okay. That's our pasta salad, and we're serving it over a bed of lettuce. And that is our walnut wild rice salad.
Yummy.
Doesn't that look good?
Oh, yeah.
And then we have our cabbage, our Chinese coleslaw.
I can't wait to try all these recipes. Thanks for coming and sharing your talents.
You're
We had a
so
good
welcome.
time. Well, friends, our time is all gone. It goes so fast. Until we see you next time, may God bless you.
And really see some phenomenal things.
That's awesome.
With people.
Do you have a story you could share with us
Oh, I'd love
before
to.
we get going?
We recently worked with a gentleman named Charlie. His wife had come to one of my health and nutrition schools, and Charlie had a quintuple bypass about 3 years ago. And
This is hard.
yes,
Five. Quintuple.
Yes, 5. Now, that was just 3 years ago. So Charlie started having chest pain again. Went to his doctor. His doctor said, Charlie, you are completely plugged up again. And you have 2 options here. You need to do another bypass, or you go home and basically prepare to die.
Oh,
Well,
that's sad.
isn't that
can you imagine
awful?
receiving that kind of news?
Oh, I can't either.
Yeah.
Charlie said the first bypass was so difficult that he chose to go home and die.
That
And
must have been tremendous, because who would want to choose to go home and die? So that tells you it's
well,
bad.
that tells you a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And we're not talking an extremely old man.
Right.
He's in his 50s. There was no more chest pain for him. Wow. And his last doctor report,
Yeah,
which
what'd
was
the
just
doctor
last
say?
month, cholesterol is 112.
Oh, that's
Triglycerides
fantastic.
were just totally low. And the doctor said, I don't know what you're doing, but you better just keep it up. He said, because you're just like a new man. And so it's given him a new lease on life.
Absolutely. And when you're in your 50s, I mean, that is young to be
That's
told
very
to go
young.
home and die or
Yes,
something.
exactly.
Yeah. Oh, praise God. That's exciting.
Amen.
So you're in the
Amen.
business of helping people.
We're in the business of helping people with their health.
Yes. Okay, well, what are we making first?
Well, first we're going to make what I call a substitute vinegar. I don't like to use vinegar. I love to use lemon juice, however, because those lemons, Jill, are power-packed with phytochemicals. There are more than 50 phytochemicals in every lemon that help us to fight disease.
That's good.
Exactly, and we think of it as being acidic, but when it's actually digested,
It's
it yields an alkaline ash.
amazing.
That's amazing. So we're going to make this vinegar substitute, and then we're going to use it.
Her name is Mary Burnt. Welcome, Mary.
Thank you, Jill.
So glad to have you here. Why don't you tell our friends at home a little bit about your restaurant and all the other things you're involved in?
Well, we have a vegetarian restaurant in Ardmore with a health food store.
And it's called
Veggies.
I like that name.
Isn't that cool?
Veggies.
I like that name too.
In fact, friends, Veggies was named 1998 one of the best restaurants from Magellan's, right?
Magellan Press.
Magellan Press. That's
Yes.
awesome. So they came and visited your restaurant in Oklahoma?
No, that was in Rapid City, South Dakota.
Okay.
But it's pretty much the same idea.
And the same name.
Same name, a
Yes.
lot of the same recipes.
Yeah, so that's awesome. So these people came in, so your food is really good. I agree, your food's really good. That's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
And what else do you do?
Well, we do a lot of ministry there. We help a lot of people with their health. And one of the things that we found is that as we practice what we know to be true as far as eating vegetarian and leaning toward a more healthy lifestyle, drinking a lot of water, all of those kind of things that we can.
Have you ever wanted to make a tossed green salad and then the next day you thought, uh-oh, I'm going to have to make a tossed green salad again? Today we're going to show you some awesome raw recipes that are all different types of salads, so stay by. Hello, friends, and welcome to Let's Cook Together. I'm your host, Jill Morricone, and we have an exciting program planned for you today. All raw pasta, rice, all different types of salad recipes. So get your pens and papers ready to write down the recipes as we share them with you. But first, I'd like to introduce to you my special guest here in the kitchen, all the way from Oklahoma, Ardmore, Oklahoma.
50s. Well, his wife came to me and said, is there something that we could do? Is there any way you can help us? And I said, yeah, I think maybe. And so they came and visited with me at the restaurant. And I really tried to encourage him to go to one of the lifestyle centers that I'm familiar with, but he didn't want to do that option either. So I said, well, Charlie, this is extreme. So we're going to do something extreme. What I'd really like you to do then, if you won't do that and you won't do the bypass, let's go on an all raw diet.
All raw. I
Totally.
mean, no cooked food.
No cooked food. And
That's
he
tremendous.
readily agreed to it, actually. He sat there and he thought about it and he said, will it help? And I said, well, I've seen it help before. And he said, well, I'm willing to give it a try.
Amen.
2 months into it, his ashen gray face developed a rosy pink glow again.
Are you
Yes.
serious?
Yes.
That's
And a man who daily had chest pain, stopped having the chest pain. In fact, they just went to Colorado, and even up in the high altitude,